Oh, this is Bobby from Computer Repair with a video today, which is functionality proof for a mainboard that was serviced on the 23rd of May, that is 8 days ago, belonging to C.Mickler, and sent back to us saying that sounding board for re-evaluation turns on normally to audio only on black screen with backlights. I believe we spoke on the phone during the holidays, and we tried. First, a note for anybody else who may be watching that video. This video is meant not to educate people. You may get some education from it occasionally, but our goal is to show a customer that the board that they get from us is working as it's supposed to be working. We have different videos that start with how to or troubleshooting this or that are more targeted towards education. So here's the TV laying on a table that is cut underneath, and you can see the screen. That is the screen with a player that we use and produces audio. It's just an easy way to test. That's the media player. So the board worked that way right out of the box. We didn't do anything. And as I said to customer, and as I have said many times in our other videos, the most common reasons that when we see a problem are the cable on the back. Let me turn that off. The back of the low data video signal cable, this one. For us, it is a very common problem because those cables are designed to withstand 50 or so or 100 insertions, and after, no, not 50, sorry, 10 to 15. And finding the specs of the cable. And once you start, they start doing things like this, and just grabbed another cable. Or let me see the other end. The other end looks fine. The wire strips start bending off sideways, backwards. And we just have some ones. This one we have clearly stripped, cut, because the strips cut loose. They peel sideways, backwards, and make short. Lots of bad things happen, and none of those is so bad, but yeah, you can see here how they're twisted. One pin is twisted sideways, and when you insert it, it becomes very, very easy to short. And the one at the very end is already cut off. So things like that start happening, and this is probably the most common problem that we're seeing that causes issues with the image. Not the only one. I believe with Chris, I said that over the phone, and he said that he inspected it and everything was fine. So the next suspect is the T-con, which on this particular TV may look different. Where is this? XVT373. Yes, the T-con will be different since this is 373, which is a larger TV. But it will still be the same issue. I would try with a different T-con board. If both the T-con and the main board are replaced and the problem is still there, honestly, the next thing that I will doubt is the panel. Now, sometimes, of course, the problem may be intermittent. It may be here. If that is the case, let the board work for a while, let it warm up, turn on the TV, turn it off, try it again. Like, it is warm now, unlike it was when we first did. And one of the things that I'll do is I'll plug that back in and try it again, just to make sure that it is working fine. There you go. Pressing again, going down. Yep, but I do have image. That's the Vizio logo. So it is working, and for a 37-inch, it's hard really to go and justify spending a lot of time. The ordinary drive would look for trouble is the cable the T-cone, the panel. Now, one of the things you can do with the panel is you can just disconnect those one at a time while the TV is not working and turning it on. To see many times the little ICs that are part of the LCD panel that are on top of the strips that go from the panel to the board that is right here, this board. The ICs, they're born and they can affect the whole half or even the whole screen, and by disconnecting that half, you can actually get the other half of the screen or portion of the screen work just fine, and that's how you know that the problem is up there. So letting those two connected one at a time and seeing whether you get partial image, that tells you the problem is up there on the panel, and this is usually not curable. If all of those work, honestly I would replace this cable. I don't think it's going to be the main board. Again, intermittent problems are possible everywhere, so it would be naive to say it's definitely not that. I just don't think it is based on what I'm seeing. We've done hundreds of those boards. Something that I've told Chris, this is the fuse that is responsible for the power of the panel. It has 12 volts. When everything works fine, those 12 volts go to a switch that is located here, which is controlled by the processor, and when that switch is turned on, the 12 volts end up at the bottom of the panel. Some models do not need that because they have a dedicated 12 volt going up. I don't remember which ones. It may have been the XVT3D models, which are very similar board-wise, but it's slightly different. I believe on most of those, including this one, there will be 12 volts at the very bottom pins here when power goes up there. And if the 12 volts go there, then the loss of the data is somewhere in the data. The loss of the screen is somewhere in the data. That's all. Thanks.